Today, many mistakenly believe that the difference between liberals and conservatives is what they care about. For example, if I asked you, what do liberals care about? You might say the environment, education, poor, green energy. Those are some of the things and other issues of the day. The media helps foster this kind of thinking. And if you believe the things that you hear, you'll start to believe that, well, if liberals are concerned about all of these things, then conservatives must be what you hear about is that they want dirty air. They want dirty water. They don't care about good education and so forth. The reality of it is that liberals and conservatives care about the same things. And if that's true, and they really care about the same things, they both care about the environment, they both care about energy, then what really is the difference? And it all comes down to how each of these groups think that the issues of the day should be addressed. I'm going to talk about just one major difference between liberals and conservatives. The liberal, when it comes to energy, the environment, education, or any of the issues of the day, believe that the government should be larger, have more power, control the economy, and have power over and manage the lives of the people. They believe that the government should solve all of the issues of the day. Conservatives, on the other hand, they believe in a limited government, that the government shouldn't have power over our lives or control over the economy, but that the government exists to protect our rights of life, liberty, and our pursuit of happiness. Conservatives believe that for most of the topics of the day, they can be better handled outside of government control and intervention. Let's look at the example of energy. In 1977, President Jimmy Carter, a liberal, signed legislation creating the Department of Energy. The Department of Energy was originally created to make the United States energy independent. Let's see. It has been 35 years. The DOE budget goes up nearly every year, vastly growing the size of the government. They've created volumes of regulations and controls that impact every company operating in the energy industry. They've added a lot of cost to producing power in the United States. And then after 35 years, we're not any closer today to being energy independent than we were in 1977. Today, the liberal idea that the government should invest in clean energy or renewable energy is all around us. In a free market system that is supported by conservatives, technology winners and losers are chosen and picked by their economic viability. That is to say, whichever technology can deliver energy at the lowest cost, that is the winner. This is highly important. Energy is the lifeblood of the economy. If we want to have a thriving, growing economy, we must have abundant and cheap energy. Now, the liberal view is that the government should pick the technology winners and losers. And this is based on the idea that the government will do it from higher and more enlightened values. But the reality of it is that politics enters in, and winners and losers are picked by political favorites. And what happens in the end is we end up wasting taxpayer dollars, and we end up with higher energy costs. Solyndra is a poster child, the perfect example of what happens when government gets involved in picking winners and losers. We waste $500 million of taxpayer money, and the company is bankrupt, and we have not made any advance for all of that money
in having green energy be efficient and effective.
In my state, we're installing windmills at a breakneck pace. And I'm sure that it makes many feel warm and fuzzy inside as they look and see these windmill farms stretching out into the horizon, to see that clean energy being created. The problem is that windmills are not economically viable. So to get them to be built in the first place, companies get government subsidies to put up all these windmills. And then the government goes to the local power company and says, you have to take the energy from all of these windmills. And now again in my state, the power company is going to the state and saying, we need special tax incentives because to offset the higher costs of us having to utilize the wind energy. And so we've wasted taxpayer money on both ends, the installation and now in the operation, and we're seeking subsidies to hold it up both times.
Now, I've talked about the one major difference between liberals and conservatives, and that is the free market system that conservatives support, where the government has limited power and exists to protect our basic rights, and the liberal idea where the government has control over our lives, control over the economy, and makes all the major decisions and solves the issues of the day. So which one is right? Look around and you'll see the evidence and the results all around us. Big government failures are piling up all around the world. We don't have to follow their example. Where do you stand?